Hi, and welcome to the demo video of Aquameta. In this video, I'll be showing you a few of the cool things we built over the years using this approach, this datafied web development approach, where everything lives in the database and really cool things are possible. The first part is a visual query editor. It edits SQL. The second part is the Datasphere. The third part is the on-screen debugger. And the fourth part is the version-controlled IDE. So this is our visual query editor. One of the goals behind Aquameta is to simplify programming and make it easier for beginners to get into learning how to code. And our approach to doing that in this case is to make a visual query editor for SQL that has a bidirectional relationship between code and data. You see here in the GUI, when I make changes to this, it's making changes up to the top there at the SQL code. And lots of people have done this before, but what's special about this one is the underlying architecture is based in the grammar of SQL itself. So underneath the hood here is the SQL grammar in a bunch of database tables, and so that means that when I make changes to the GUI, it's going in and modifying at the eBNF level this SQL query, and then when I make changes to the code up above, it does the same thing and parses it into the database tables and modifies the GUI. So you see here I'm turning on distinct, and then up here at the top in the code section, that word is appearing and disappearing. And this is a general purpose pipeline, so any change that I make up here is going to change the code up above. See the inner join there, and then when I click the left side here, it turns into a right or left join, as you would expect, and then I can go up here and type inner, and the GUI goes back to where it was before. Okay, so the next part is the on-screen debugger, and what that means is that when we built this query editor, we built it using the underlying widget framework, which Aquameta applications are built in, and as you can see here, there's a ton of different widgets on the screen. And when we pop up this debugger on the right side here, you can see the correlation between the yellow highlighted widget and the widget on the screen. And the TD widget is the Tyler Durden widget, so when you hit a command stroke there, it pops onto the screen. Part 3 is the Datasphere. What this is a visualization of the database schema as a sphere. We've actually built two versions of this. This one is in WebGL, and we haven't done it yet, but we can add all kinds of cool effects to it, smoke and so forth. And then the second version is the Canvas version. This one is just built in, normal HTML canvas. You can search it, and what you see here is there I'm searching for SQL Simple, which is the grammar table, and then it brings up all the tables in the database that have this grammar. Here's the grammar table, which has the schema for eBNF itself, so we can import an eBNF into the system. You see this is also made up of widgets. This is an old version of the debugger, but yeah, you can see the widgets on the screen as well. Part 3 is our IDE here. And what we have is these are kind of the bare bones components of an Aquameta application. There's functions, widgets, tables, views, dependencies, and pages. And then a widget has these various components: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, inputs that are passed in. And then if you go to some widgets have FSMs, which control state. This one does. And you can drag these around and make transitions. Over on the right, these handlers, if you have a handler for when something is on enter and on exit, you can attach code to that, and it'll actually bring that into the scope of the JavaScript of the widget, and you can control state from it. Okay, this is the Aquameta version control system. It is the place where we basically do pretty much everything in the most modern iteration. I'm going to create a bundle here called Aquameta.demo. A bundle is just a repository, much like a Git repository, for all this different kind of stuff. You can put widgets in there, resources as in URL resources, which is a flat file on the the web server. So let's start with one of those. It's going to put something up here at /demo, and we're just going to put a little bit of HTML in there. And then when we finish that out, we can go to a new tab here, and it will appear at /demo. So let's do that. And as we see there, we salute our mothers. Hi, Mom. So really a bundle is made up of all kinds of different stuff like this. Bundles can be made up of widgets. Let's fast forward a little bit here, and I've added a couple new widgets. This one is going to be a demo widget. You see in there the HTML, and now the HTML is going to call another widget called demo. Could go into a lot of detail on this, but we'll just kind of skip through it right now and get to the end result, which is the version control system. Because you see there on the left, the delta means that this item has changed. The eyeball means this item is now tracked. This is all should be very familiar if you're familiar with Git. And we're editing this demo2 widget, setting a background color, setting a foreground color. Let's add a little click handler in here so that when we click it, it does something, just to kind of show the anatomy of a very, very simple app. Now let's alert. Hello. All right, save that. And then what you see here is everything that has changed in this. This is the version control. This would be Git status if we were in Git. We can commit and stage all the changes that we've made. You see these are the different fields of each widget that has been changed, content and path. Here's what I changed the base HTML of the page to. And clean this up a little bit and go to our demo here. All right, tiny widget, click me, hello. Now what's really cool is our commit history here allows us to check out this project at various stages, which I kind of skipped over. So let's go back to the very beginning one here. Hit reload, and there's hi mom. Now let's go back to the second one and hit reload. And then we renamed the resource in this one. So instead of it being demo, we called it demo2, so that's why we got a 404. We put it back to that one, hit reload. Now we've got a little click handler. And then we check out the very latest one where we turn the click handler blue, hit reload, and there it is. So you can make changes and you can track all your changes as well. It allows you to keep from making mistakes, which lowers the barrier to entry for beginners because they can't really screw anything up without just going back to it. Now this IDE is of course made of widgets itself, and it's also an app, so it's a fully reified environment. So the widget editor is editing itself through the debugger. Okay, thanks for tuning in to our demo, and hope you dive in and help us build this thing out a little further.